Giorgio ASMR.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Giorgio, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I'm back with another gameplay video, and it's for Ghost of Tsushima. And in this particular video, I'm going to be telling you all about important gameplay tips that you should know so that it'll make your journey in this game and your gameplay experience a lot more easier when you first start out, because there can be a lot going on in this game that may throw you for a loop. So I want to tell you something about this guiding wind target, and you get this when you complete your first acts, and you also you defeat one of your first big Mongol lords, or Mongol leaders, that's what they call them. And so you get this ability called guiding wind target, and you use this to find secret items like the undiscovered flowers, which these will allow you to buy things from the merchant, which I'm gonna show you that in a separate clip in this video. And so yeah, you can use this guiding wind thing to track undiscovered records, undiscovered artifacts, Shishimo Vanders. Golly, that's a word for you. And basically with them, you collect those in a big time mission and like a side quest or whatever, and then once you collect a certain amount of them, you fight the big Mongol leader. And so let's get to the really important part of this, and that is, hold on. All right. And yes, we have the gear. I'm gonna go back to that in just a second, but I want to talk about the important thing of this video, and that is the techniques. And as you can see right here, we have three different categories. We have samurai, we have stances, and we have ghost. And basically, you know, the samurai is like your basic abilities during in-game battles. Now, when you first play the game, you would notice you had got like you know, one technique point. And so basically, you have to be very wise with these technique points at the very beginning of this game, because you know, one technique point, it might be a good while before you get another one. Now, I use mine for evasion, and I got the roll one, and this one is very helpful, especially when you're dealing with a big brute enemy, which you will encounter these early on in the game. And then of course I got dodging slash. Now this one is really a great strategic move when you're trying to counter, you know, multiple enemies, and it allows you to get a quick slash in, you know, so it'll help you wound the enemies. Now, and I will show you something about, you know, the enemies in this game, because I have like a separate little Mongol leader battle that I'm going to show you how to defeat these enemies a lot faster. And so yeah, they have different little abilities, right? You get sprint strike, which this will allow you to get a quick first attack in, and then you have shoulder charge, which that would allow you to regroup, you know, heal yourself. And then you got delayed strike. Now delayed strike, this one can be very risky to use, because if you have a multitude of enemies around you and you use it on one of those enemies with the shield, that it can leave you open for a lot of damage. So you can it's best to use it only when you only dealing with one enemy on the screen at a time who has the shield in their hands. And then we have mounted strike. Now this is when you're on a horse, and this allows you to get a great little entrance into the battlefield right there. And I really like that one. You know, that's just if there's one enemy. Now if there's multiple enemies, it would not be wise to do that, because you do that to one enemy, those other ones gonna come behind you and kill you. So you gotta be careful with that, because Jin in this game, he takes a good deal of damage easily. you know, until of course, you know, he'll get stronger throughout the game. Then there's the perfect dodge. Now this will allow you to slow down time and allow you to kill multiple enemies at one time easily. And this might be a good one, but of course you will get this one later on as you play through the game. Now, the important ones that I would recommend that you start off with, it depends on how you choose to play this game. Like if you want to be a good offensive and you want a good balance, you can go with evasion and you can choose the roll one, which I did, which came very much in handy, you know, when I had my first big battle. And then of course, if you like to be more on the defensive side, then you definitely want to pay a lot of attention to the deflection area, because you know they got the perfect parry, which this one it allows you to earn a moderate amount of resolve, and so that'll be able to you can use your resolve to heal your character. And then you got the perfect healing parry. Now if you real good with your defense and your parrying skills in this game, then this ability right here will really help you out a lot, especially if you're dealing with a big time tough Mongol leader. And so you have the unyielding sword parry. That's a nice one too. So basically, now if I was you, if you definitely want to go the deflection route, start off with the perfect parry, go over to this perfect healing parry, then you get the deflect arrows. Now you'll be able to get these three right here really, I would say really early on in the game, so it won't take you long to be able to get them. And then the cool thing about this is you can it allows you different ways to get to which ones you want. And then of course we have the mythic arts, which is basically more powerful you know, special attacks. Now this one is really great right here, because you do this one time and if you hit it, and all you gotta do is do one more strike and your enemy is dead. And then you have Dance of Wrath, which it unleashes 3 consecutive unblockable attacks that inflict high damage. Now this one will probably be unlocked as you go through the game, like, you know, as you go through the story. So this one probably won't be available early on until you complete your first tale, and that's basically like your first, you know, mission or whatever. And then this one is probably one of my favorites, which I can tell you probably won't get this one till later in the game, or you know, once you complete more stuff in the game. But you use incendiary oil to ignite your katana and burn your foes. Now you know what? I've seen this ability in the Witcher games. You know, Geralt has this, if I'm not mistaken. Geralt, he can use like different potions and stuff, and so you can use these on his swords, and it'll allow his sword attacks to be more powerful. And combined with, you know, an advanced weapon, advanced sword, is, man, okay, your character is gonna be tough to beat. And then you got the explosive arrow. Now there's a tale on here early on in this early mission in this game that you can complete, and you'll get the bow and arrow set. You definitely want to go and do that mission, so that when you later as you advance through the game, you get the explosive arrow. So my advice, I would go with the evasion first. I would choose that one. Then I will go and get this perfect parry one. Then I would get the wind of health, because as you go through the game, the wind will be guiding you to, you know, your next area. So let's say you just had a very devastating boss battle and you don't have no resolve. So with this ability checked off, you'll be able to recover health over time as you going into your next area. So that is a really important, these are really important ones that you should be able to get right away. Of course, you know, I kind of went a different route by getting 2 things from the evasion part. And then of course you have stance, you know, and this will allow you to use your technique points to get extra abilities with your stance. Now you have different stances. you have the stone one, which is the default, and it gives you like your sword breaker, your piercing strike. Now this one, the water stance, you can get real crazy and sick with it while still being smooth in your movements. And yeah, this one is really cool, and it says heavy attacks deal extra stagger damage. So you definitely want to make sure you go and do some of them side missions early on in the game so you can defeat those Mongol leaders, so you can get these different stances. And the wind one is effective against spearmen, so that one's really nice too. And then of course you have the moon stance, which is effective against brutes. Now this one, I think this one might end up being the best out of all of them, because not only does it deal the heavy stagger damage like the water stance does, but it also is effective against brutes, because let's face it, you're going to be fighting a lot of enemies that are going to be way bigger, way more powerful than you in this game in certain cases. And so you're going to need this moon stand. This is the best one, you know, so make sure you try to work hard towards, you know, getting these as soon as possible, because they're going to make your journey in your life a lot easier. And then of course we have the ghost, and this one is when you can build your legend, which as you defeat boss characters or Mongol leaders, this will fill up, and then, you know, you'll be able to make your character stronger. Now these are evolving tactics. Now this is where you can use so basically you can enhance certain abilities that you already have in the game. Like this one is recover health. So if you use that, and let's say you use one, you got to use 2 technique points. These will take up more technique points, especially as they go down. You know, they're gonna take up a lot of technique points, but they're very helpful. And I would definitely suggest, if you didn't want to get the wind health thing that I showed you previously, you can go over here and get this iron will, because it will save you from it can save you from defeat when wounded. However, it would cost you to resolve those little orbs at the bottom, and you have to be very careful with that, because if you lose that, and let's say you're fighting against a really powerful enemy and they still end up wounding you again, you're gonna be dead, and you cost yourself resolve. So I don't know if I would use this one, you know. And then of course we got the standoff. Now this one is really cool if you want to get the upper hand on like a large group of enemies, and let's say you kill one of them, and this will at least increase your chances of surviving multiple enemies on the field, especially if you prefer to do standoffs, you know. And this is an unknown technique, which, you know, you'll be able to unlock this one pretty much early in the game as well. Then you got the assassination one. Now this one is really dope too, because you know, if you're gonna be jumping from these big areas, and you notice if you use Jin, he'll jump off from a big area, like, or a big surface onto the ground, he can lose a lot of health, and you will actually have to use your resolve. So I would recommend you getting this one too early, as soon as possible, you know. And of course you got chain assassin, where you can kill off 2 targets at one time. Oh, this one it just gets better. This one is definitely one you're gonna have to pay attention to right off the bat for sure. This one and this one. Now focus hearing, it will come into play if you're going to be using more of the defensive side. Like if you're going to be a more defensive player in this game and you want to sneak up on enemies, you prefer to do the whole sniper type thing or whatever it is, you definitely want this if you're going to be doing a lot of the creeping up on your enemies type stuff. So I just thought I would bring this stuff to your attention. And as you can see right here, when you defeat that first big Mongol leader, you will be able to access the merchant. You will meet him in that area. And then as you can see, all the different swords and stuff that you can get, you know, the different armor and the headbands that you can get. And of course, you'll see that it has flowers. And you will have to use what I said at the beginning of this video, using that tracker, the wind tracker, to find those flowers. And so now, let's get into the first big time Mongol leader that you're gonna battle in this game. And you access this battle by going to the dojo. It's like you'll see something on your map named dojo, and you go there and you defeat the Mongol guards or whatever, and then you collect those S-word flags to be able to access this battle right here. Now you notice when there's a red light, that when you see that red light up there, you press circle to dodge it. Now, if you equipped the abilities that I had told you at the beginning of this video, this boss battle, this battle right here will be a lot easier. Like if I would have dodged that, I would have got me a good quick slash in. So let's say when you see him coming towards you and you see that red light, you can dodge it and you hit him with a strong strike. His back will be turned. And when his back is turned, you hit him with triangle. You hit him with the heavy attack some more. But you have to be careful. You have to mix it up. You can't stay in front of your enemy way too long because he will kill you. And as you can see, I was able to do that. I was able to kill him because I didn't stay in front of him too long. I got like I got maybe 2 heavy strikes in. And I pretty much dodged his attacks. Cause the one thing about it, your enemy's attacks, while they're powerful, they're way powerful than yours. If you dodge them because of the slow recover time, when they miss those attacks, you'll be able to counter it and be able to kill your opponent. So, and of course, like I said, you equip those right abilities from the get-go with those technique points that I told you about, and you unlock those each time you defeat a Mongol leader. So I hope that you all found this video very, very helpful, and it was an honor and a blast to talk to you about it. And let me know what else you want to know about this game or anything that I missed, and I will definitely cover it in another video. Anyways, hope you all have a blessed day. Catch you all next time.
Maybe he's probing them for information, learning their weaknesses,